on some more current latest news. So basically, lots to discuss about on this current video today. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So first topic of the development, I do want to update you. Breaking news has come out of the media today earlier on, and that I was currently looking at. So basically, it's in relation Phil Jones. It has confirmed now in the media that Phil Jones has signed a new 4.5 year contract at Manchester United, with an option of a further year as well, because obviously I think he was one of the players that were favoured to leave Manchester United, of course in the summer. But we know, even though Phil Jones and the likes of Chris Smalling are nowhere near on the same levels as the likes of Victor Lindelof and Bailly, because I think Victor Lindelof and Bailly complement themselves very, very well in our central defensive area, as I currently said. But we know we're still mainly Phil Jones. We know that he's injury prone, as we all know. He's obviously been one of the longest servants at Manchester United, because obviously he has been since the Alex Ferguson era as Phil Jones. But we know he's been mainly regular, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because we know mainly, he has been playing Jones alongside Lindelof, and I know that he's known for injuries, is Phil Jones, as I said. And since being at Manchester United, of course, he's made about over 200 odd appearances, in all competitions. He has been here since 2011, so we've had him a good 7-8 years now, as I said. We paid around, was it 16, 17 million pounds for him from Blackburn, as I said. So reports, it has been officially confirmed that Phil Jones has signed a new 4.5 year deal at Manchester United with an option of a further year. I still think he's 26 years of age, is Phil Jones. He could still leave in the summer, though, even though he has signed this new contract, with Manchester United. So that's been officially announced. But we all know now there's still other players come to end of the contract, that we currently do need to address, as I said. But we know that Martial obviously signed a new 5.5 year deal, as I said. I think there's a 5-year deal with an option of a further year. We know that basically... we know that Scott McTominay, signed a new contract as well with Manchester United. We know Smalling signed a new contract, earlier on in the season as well. I was disappointed, about Scott McTominay, signing a new contract. I'm disappointed, that Phil Jones has signed a new contract. So he is under contract here until I think the summer of 2023 now is Phil Jones. But reports coming out saying now he's officially signed a new contract. But there's quite a few players, that have been, long servants at Manchester United. Jones is one of them. Chris Smalling's one of them, as we all know. Chris Smalling obviously hasn't played for a while, because obviously recently been injured with a foot injury as Chris Smalling, but he could be in contention to face his ex-club tomorrow, as I said. Obviously he's been here a good 10 years now as Chris Smalling. He's been here, 9 years I think he's been at Manchester United, because I think we did get him in 2010. Obviously, Valencia I think is the longest servant at Manchester United, one of the longest servants at Manchester United. He's been here a good 10 years now as Antonio Valencia, being a good servant over the years. He's grown and developed fantastically well as Antonio Valencia, and he's been here 10 years. I think he's made over 300 odd appearances in all competitions. But obviously there was strong speculation of him leaving throughout the January transfer window, but I think he did say Fulham and Newcastle were interested in Valencia, but he is now 33 years of age, and I can see Valencia leaving Manchester United in the summer, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, because obviously he can't get in the team at the moment, because obviously Ashley Young is our first choice at that right back position, as I currently said. In relation to Ashley Young as well, he's been a long servant at Manchester United as well. He's been here since 2011 as Ashley Young, as I currently said. I think we paid around £17 million for him, from Aston Villa, Ashley Young. So he's been here a good 7-8 years now as Ashley Young at least. I think he's made just under 300 appearances in all competitions. But obviously we know he's our first choice right back. Obviously the likes of Ashley Young's won everything here in English football. Jones has won everything here in English football. Chris Smalling's won everything here in English football, as I said. Valencia, of course, has won everything here, as I said. And so too has Ashley Young. And Ashley Young has been here since 2011, as I said. Reports were coming out saying that Man United have been in negotiations, of getting Ashley Young a new 1-year extension at the club. Because obviously we're not willing to offer him a long-term contract extension, considering that, Ashley Young is 33 years of age now, as I said. And I do think he's past it now, Ashley Young, to be quite honest with you. And I do think, we do need someone on that right-hand side. I'd love to see, Diego Dalot, to come into contention more, to be quite honest with you. But as I did currently say, yeah, so Ashley Young reports coming out saying that we've been in negotiations, we're close to agreeing him a new 1-year contract at the club, I think, worth around £110,000 a week, as I said. And he's been a very, very good servant over the years, Ashley Young. And we know mainly, he was mainly right winger, when he was younger. But obviously, most recent, we've, operated him as a right back. Now and again, we have rotated him a little bit. We have put him on the left hand side a few times, Ashley Young, as I said. But I did say he could also leave Manchester United in the summer. But I do think, definitely Antonio Valencia will probably leave Manchester United in the summer as well. But I do expect, players to leave in the summer. I think probably at least 3 or 4 will go in. And I do expect experienced players, to leave Manchester United in the summer. And I do think, we need to get 3 or 4 players in the summer. It would be ideal if we could maybe get a couple of young players in, that could grow and develop and mould under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Obviously, we're still looking to hire a director of football, to come in, before we do commit to any future signings. It was a shame we didn't make any signings throughout the January transfer window, but obviously the Manchester United board are obviously planning, to make signings in the summer. Reports in the media saying we're going to get around £200 million. We're going to get around around the £200 million spending spree, to spend in the summer. And obviously we're still recruiting, full-time managers coming on a full-time basis. And I think now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should be in pole position, to get the job on a full-time basis, as I currently said. I think Mauricio Pochettino's obviously, been Ed Woodward's number 1, for quite a while now, as we all currently know, as I currently said. But reports coming out in relation, to Phil Jones. He has signed a 4.5-year deal with Manchester United until 2023, as that's confirmed. Other news that's also come out today in relation to David De Gea as well. The likes of Marcus Rashford and David De Gea have said, they are convinced, Rashford and De Gea are reportedly, convinced that Solskjaer, should get the job permanently, and if so, they will commit to new deals with the pair. But reports coming out, he did Solskjaer, he said contract negotiations were progressing with the likes of De Gea and all that. Obviously, as I've already said, he mentioned Martial, but obviously Martial's now signed that 5-year deal, with an option of a 3rd year. But in relation to David De Gea, reports have been coming out today regarding David De Gea that it says negotiations there's been breakthrough in negotiations reportedly. It's obvious that David De Gea, wanted to become one of the club's highest paid players, as I currently said. But obviously we activated a 12-month extension on his current contract last year, as we all know. We know that he was linked with a move to Real Madrid, back in 2015. We know that obviously was it last year sometime we heard that Juventus and Paris Saint-Germain were reportedly interested in De Gea. But I think De Gea's committed his long-term future in Manchester United, and he's been one of the longest servants at Manchester United as well as David De Gea. He's been here since 2011. He's grown and developed very, very well, and his progression's been absolutely fantastic, and he's won the club's Player of the Year 4 out of 5 seasons. He's won the Matt Busby Player of the Year quite a few times. He's made over 300 odd appearances in all competitions, since he's been here, and without a shadow of a doubt, he is the best player in the world, is David De Gea, and he's been here, since the Alex Ferguson era. But reportedly Manchester United have been in talks of getting him a new long-term deal at the club. His current deal runs out, I think, in 2020. David De Gea's, as I said, and I think he's on around £200,000 a week. But reports have been coming out today in regards of David De Gea saying that Manchester United are close to agreeing him a new 5-year deal at the club, and reportedly he's set to become the highest paid goalkeeper in world football is David De Gea, because it did say he's close to signing a new 5-year deal worth around a staggering £400,000 a week, or it might be just a bit less than £400,000 a week. So he's going to get a massive, wage increase, if he does sign this new 5-year deal. And reports have been coming out saying that Man United are close, of getting him in this new 5-year deal after, more talks, have gone on. And reportedly he's set to become the 9th highest paid player in world football, all in all. He's set to become the 9th highest paid player in world football. But if he does sign this new 5-year deal, reportedly it's going to be worth around £400,000 a week, or maybe just a bit less. He's going to be the highest paid goalkeeper in world football, as I currently said, and he's been here a good 7-8 years now, David De Gea, and he's been an absolutely fantastic goalkeeper for us, and he's one of the best in the world. And as I did say, we've had good goalkeepers over the years, as I said, we had Peter Schmeichel that were good, we had Edwin van der Sar that were good, we had the likes of Tim Howard, and we had the likes of Fabian Barthez and all them good goalkeepers we had, but they're nowhere near on the same calibre or same level as David De Gea. So yeah, that's good news. He's committing his future with Manchester United, is David De Gea, because he loves the club, and he was speaking about about before was David De Gea. He was, do you remember when he was speaking about, Man United, he wants Man United to be up there challenging for silverware. He said Manchester United need to challenge for trophies. But I think, the confidence is back in the team now, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's here. And I think we do need a couple of signings, in the summer, as I currently said. We get a couple of signings in, strengthen key areas, we do need to strengthen up. We need a central defender. We need someone on the right, because as I did say, the majority of our attack is coming from the left. And I think we do need a centre defensive midfielder, that's fast and tenacious, as I currently said. But yeah, that's good news I've heard today, that David De Gea is close to agreeing a new 5-year deal worth around £400,000 a week. That's also what I've heard in the media today. In relation to Ander Herrera as well, I hope, somewhere along the line, we can sign him a new deal at the club as well. I think it will be only a 1-year extension. We are preparing, to offer Ander Herrera. Obviously, he's not obviously one of the, the top earners at the club is Ander Herrera, but I think, he's been a very, very good, consistent player, since we got him in 2014, under Louis van Gaal. So he's been here a good 4.5, 5 years now as Ander Herrera, and I think he's made a big impact in the team. I think he's very, very influential. He's Ander Herrera, but I think his performances have really improved. Since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, because Ander Herrera is playing a big part in the team, and I think he looks good. When he's playing alongside Matic and Paul Pogba and that, because that they are a very, very good trio, and they look very, very effective together. As we all currently know. But Ander Herrera, reports have been coming out saying that he's demanding that he wants a new Manchester United contract. Manchester United, of course, have been in talks, as I said. But since Solskjaer's coming, I think his form's been rejuvenated. I think he's pulling the strings off well in the midfield alongside Matic and Pogba and all that. He's Ander Herrera. And he's been here since 2014, as I said. We got him from Atletico Bilbao, so he's been here a good, 4.5, 5 years now, Ander Herrera. So yeah, I really, really do hope, that we do get him a new, deal at the club as well, Ander Herrera. But reports have been coming out saying that negotiations are progressing very, very well, which is very, very good to see. But I do really, really like Ander Herrera. Reports have also, been coming out about Juan Mata as well, that I have heard as well. I think reports coming out saying that Juan Mata is keen on Manchester United offering him a 2-year deal. But obviously reports coming out saying that Man United are only willing to offer him a 1-year contract extension, considering that he is age 30. I think he's nearly 31 now, is Juan Mata, as I currently said. And he previously did admit before, did Juan Mata, that he did miss Spain, because obviously when he was a lot younger in his prime, he began his career with Spain. He played for Real Madrid and all that. He played for Real Madrid and all that, did Juan Mata. He played under Remre, for 4 years at Valencia, when he was a lot younger in his prime. And he's been in the Premier League a number of years now. And he's won everything in English football, apart from the Premier League. And that's the only thing he hasn't won. Obviously, he had 3 good years with Chelsea when he was young in his prime. And he's been at Manchester United now a good, 5 years now, Juan Mata. And he's a very, very good player indeed. I still think he's very, very essential, for Manchester United. Even though he hasn't been first choice, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming. Because we know mainly Lingard's been first choice on that right-hand side, over there, Juan Mata, as I currently said. But Manchester United have been in talks. Reports coming out a week or so ago, I did hear that Man United offered him a new 1-year extension on his contract. But the reports coming out throughout the January transfer window that Barcelona were interested in him. It did say Barcelona had reportedly, approached his representatives, reportedly. It did say Arsenal had also made inquiries as well, for Juan Mata. But we have offered him a new 1-year extension. And in relation to Marcus Rashford as well, I hope we can, agree him a new long-term deal at Manchester United as well, because Man United have been in talks of getting Rashford, a new long-term deal at the club. And I do think, he's a very, very good young player. I think he's progressing up the ranks very, very well, being a United player since the age of 7, as Marcus Rashford, being in the senior squad, since 2016, as I said. And obviously, he's currently earning £60,000 a week, is he, at the moment. But I think, Man United are set to agree him a new £150,000 a week contract, and it is going to be a long-term, as I currently said. But, Marcus Rashford, as I said, his current deal does end in 2020, does Marcus Rashford. I think there's an option of a further year as well. But this season he's been in fantastic form, and he's playing a key role under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is Marcus Rashford. He scored 6 goals in his last 8 games. I think he scored 10 goals, so far this season, I think in like 30 games as Marcus Rashford. But yeah, I've been very, very impressed with his performances. Marcus Rashford, he can play out wide, but I think he looks more, very, very, very effective, essentially, to be quite quite honest with you, does Rashford. So I think he's mainly our number 9. We know reports have been coming out saying that Real Madrid have been interested in Marcus Rashford. We heard about that report that Real Madrid were reportedly interested in Marcus Rashford. It did say they were reportedly willing to offer him around £100 million in the summer, but Marcus Rashford's obviously no intentions of leaving Manchester United because he loves the club and he's been here since the age of 7. His progression's just been absolutely fantastic indeed. So hopefully somewhere along the line we can agree him a new long-term contract, and we have been in negotiations getting him a new long-term contract at the club as well. But we know, obviously, mainly under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all currently know under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we know mainly that the likes of Marcus Rashford and, Anthony Martial, obviously 2 young players, that need to grow and develop more. And when they do keep playing, they'll get better and better and better and better, as I said. But obviously, we know Martial and obviously, Marcus Rashford have obviously, been the first choice of the likes of Lukaku and Sanchez. And I think they are fringe players, Lukaku and Sanchez. We have got quite a few fringe players, in our team. As I did say, if Herrera does sign this new 1-year extension at Manchester United, this new contract, this could be bad news for Fred, because Fred's obviously hasn't really had the opportunity, since he's come to Manchester United. We got him last summer for around £52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. So it is going to be hard for him, to get regular game time, Fred, as I currently said, because obviously, first choice is Herrera, Matic and Pogba in that midfield, look very, very effective in that midfield. So, Fred, will he leave Manchester United? He could be in contention, to start against Fulham, tomorrow. To be quite honest with you, Fred, but he hasn't really played, and he's not really, got a lot of game time as Fred. As I said, since he's come to Manchester United, as I said. But in relation, to Martial and Rashford, they've been first choice over Lukaku and Sanchez. And Lukaku, I think his form's been slightly rejuvenated, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming. He's got a couple of assists, he's scored a couple of goals. But the likes of Martial, who's got pace, who can press out the pitch, Lingard, who's got pace, who can press out the pitch, Rashford's got pace, who can press out the pitch, and Rashford, and obviously, Lukaku is not capable of this, because what Rashford can offer up front, Lukaku cannot do this. But he's still a proven goal scorer in the Premier League. Lukaku can score goals, but his first touch does concern me. He is slow. He's Romelu Lukaku, to be quite honest with you. We did pay, £75 million in from Everton, so, he is a Premier League proven, he's Romelu Lukaku, as I currently said. But we know mainly he hasn't been first choice, as I said. And in relation, to Alexis Sanchez, I think he's lost a yard of pace as Alexis Sanchez, and I think he will still get more opportunities under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to improve his game, Alexis Sanchez, because I think he definitely needs to improve, because he's endured a very, very difficult time, since he's come to Manchester United. Alexis Sanchez endured a very difficult time. To be fair, he has had a couple of injuries as Sanchez. I think he's aged, I think he's aged 30 years of age now, is Alexis Sanchez, as I said. He's versatile, he can play in numerous positions, as he did do at Arsenal, but we know mainly he's a number 7 who does operate on that left-hand side, and I think there's areas of his game that he does need to adapt, and I do think, he's lost a yard of pace, to be quite honest with you, as Sanchez, but I think he needs to, there's areas of his game he does need to adapt, and he does need to improve, does Alexis Sanchez, but we know mainly that Martial, Rashford and the likes of Lingard have been first choice over Lukaku and Sanchez, but I think, to be fair, I think Lukaku and Sanchez could be in contention, to start against Fulham tomorrow, to be quite honest with you, because obviously we've got big games coming up. We've got PSG in the Champions League on Tuesday, Chelsea in the FA Cup, then it's Liverpool at Old Trafford, so they are 3 big games. So obviously he's going to be rotating the squad, he's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He was talking about rotating when he first came in, he was going to rotate the squad, give everybody the chance, give the young players the chance as well, to grow and develop more, as Solskjaer, has done, to be quite honest with you. But in my opinion, I think Solskjaer, is the right man for the job at Manchester United, as I currently said, because he knows everything about the club, he knows the culture of the club, he knows the chaplains of the club, and he's won silverware as well, so he's experienced, he's proven himself, as I said. In terms of, managerial experience before he come to United, he didn't have much of that managerial experience, because he didn't do so well with Cardiff. He got Cardiff relegated. He did win 2 Norwegian titles with Molde, as I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but in terms of silverware, he's proven it, because he won silverware, when he was a player for 11 years under Alex Ferguson. He scored loads and loads of goals, and he was our super sub, was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And obviously, he's also managed the Manchester United reserve team. He's watched some of these players now. He's watched them grow and develop as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. So he knows everything about this team, does Solskjaer. Reportedly, as I did say, we're going to get around £200 million spent in the summer. If Solskjaer's the manager, either way, I think he's still going to have a big say in our transfer plans in the summer. as he has confirmed, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. But he did say he didn't expect us to make any signings, throughout the January transfer window. He said it was unlikely. He didn't expect Manchester United, to make any signings, throughout the January transfer. Of course, I think he's done his press conference, for the Fulham game tomorrow. To be quite honest with you, I haven't watched it, so I wouldn't really know. To be quite honest with you. But the thing is with Solskjaer, he's brought the confidence to the team. He's motivated the team, and you can see the difference. I think we've improved defensively as well. We're scoring more goals, creating more chances. Defenders, having the ability, to press high up the pitch, which is good to see. Fullbacks getting high up the pitch. They're pulling strings off well in the midfield. And I think, Pogba's definitely getting the freedom to express himself. He's scoring and providing his Paul Pogba. And Pogba, is one of the best, players, best midfielders in world football, when he's playing like this. And he's a player, when he's in this kind of form, he's a player that can be on 12 to 15 goals a season, as I said. But you can see so far the structure of the team's right, the cohesion of the team's right. The team are gelling together, as they should be, as I said. And I think, and I do think, it's very, very looking good so far at Manchester United, because he's brought the positivity back, he's brought the fear factor back to the club, and, the confidence is in the players, and you can see, with the players' attitude, that they are determined, to play for this manager and win games, as I could have said. And so far, we've done it, 10 games unbeaten under Solskjaer, 9 games, we've won 9 out of 10, as I said. I think there's 25 goals scored, 7 conceded, as I could have said, and the majority of the players now are playing to the potential levels, as I said, because this team does want to play under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I would like to see Solskjaer get the job on a full-time basis, because he has been discussing, about getting it full-time, and I think he should get it full-time, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously, in relation to Mauricio Pochettino, the difference between Solskjaer and Mauricio Pochettino is I'm not slating what Pochettino's done, because I think he's been a very, very good manager. He's Premier League proven, but in terms of silverware, Pochettino has not won out as a manager in terms of silverware. Yeah, he's got a good record with Tottenham. He had a good record when he was at Southampton, but he hasn't spent much at Tottenham since 2014. He's only spent £50 million at Tottenham since 2014. Of course, this is his 5th season now with Tottenham, and obviously, Solskjaer, would be a cheaper alternative, as I said, to get on a full-time basis at the end of the summer, at the end of the season, as I currently said, because obviously Pochettino would cost around at least £40 million, to recommend him in, considering he signed a 5-year deal last summer with Tottenham as well. But Solskjaer's a much cheaper alternative. We might as well keep Solskjaer on the job on a full-time basis, and obviously what it would cost us for Pochettino, which would be around £45-50 million, we might as well keep Solskjaer, save that money it would cost us Pochettino, and get a signing with that money, as I currently said. And for me, Pochettino's good at growing and developing young players, and he's done very, very well with Tottenham, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's willing to leave Tottenham anyway. I think he's fully happy at Tottenham. As to the Tottenham chairman, Danny Levy, confirmed, quite, was it a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ago, that he wasn't willing, to let Pochettino leave anywhere, as I currently said. But for me, I think Solskjaer is the right man for Manchester United, in my opinion. But there's a few players, that, of course, Manchester United have been linked with, as we all currently know. Obviously, I think our major priority target, for the summer is the Napoli defender, Koulibaly, as we all currently know. So I think, to be quite honest with you, we've got a great chance of getting Koulibaly, in the summer, and to be quite honest, we've got a great chance of getting him. We know it would cost us staggering amounts of money, but we have got that financial power, to meet Koulibaly's, to meet the price tag of what Napoli are demanding. I think his agent, or his former agent, has revealed that he could be available for just under £90 million in the summer. But obviously, we've been into him for the past two windows, as we all know, because obviously Manchester United were in negotiations. Manchester United obviously had 3 bids turned down for Koulibaly. The recent one was £95 million, as I currently said. And I think Koulibaly is eager, to come to Old Trafford, as he has confirmed. I think he wants to come to Manchester United. Does Koulibaly? I think he does, want to come to Manchester United. Does Koulibaly? He's under contract with Napoli, don't forget, until 2023. As we all know, Napoli paid, £7 million from Jenkin. He's grown and developed very, very well. He's 27 years of age. He's tall as well, which is beneficial. And he he'd look very, very good alongside Lindelof and Eric Bailly, you know, would Koulibaly. He'd look very, very good alongside them, as I said. So hopefully we can come to an agreement in the summer, you know, to get Koulibaly. And I think he's unhappy, you know, with Napoli now. Anyway, I think the majority of this was due to the racial abuse, you know, he suffered, you know, back last year, back on Boxing Day as well. And yeah, we've been linked to him for the past 2 windows, as I said. But I think he's the major #1 target, you know, to go for in the summer. As I currently said, and he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. So basically, you know, it would be good for him to come and experience the Premier League, as I said. And I think he could become, you know, the new Nemanja Vidic, you know, or the new Rio Ferdinand, you know, could Koulibaly, as I said, because Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic were a fantastic centre back partnership, you know, when they were at Manchester United. And I think Lindelof and Eric Bailly are a fantastic partnership because Bailly's got great potential, and I think Lindelof, you know, galloping forward more, his passing's improved. I think his passing accuracy's improved. I think Lindelof's really improved this season, but I still think we need a strong central defender at the back, and Koulibaly, you know, would be a fantastic indeed. But as I updated you yesterday, I've heard other reports as well that have been coming out in the media in relation to Raphael Varane. Raphael Varane is very unlikely that we're going to get him, but we know there's been rumours going on about it that reportedly Man United have identified him we've identified him as our #1 summer target. Reportedly Raphael Varane. Raphael Varane is 25 years of age. I think he's a top class central defender, you know, for Real Madrid, because he's been at Real Madrid a lot of years now. I think he's been at Real Madrid. He's been there since 2011 as Raphael Varane, so he's been there a good 7-8 years now as Raphael Varane. Of course, he's still got 3.5 years left on his current deal with Real Madrid. But we know, I heard the rumours about, you know, last summer, you know, that Manchester United, you know, were actually, you know, interested in Raphael Varane. We know it would cost a lot of money. Probably cost at least in the region of around 90 or 100 million pounds. But I don't think Real Madrid are willing to do any business anywhere for Raphael Varane. Raphael Varane's only 25 years of age. Since he's been at Real Madrid, I think he's won over 15 major honours. He's made over 200 odd appearances, and reportedly he's French, as we all know. His performances in the World Cup were very good as well. Back in the 2018 FIFA World Cup, you know, he played every minute in the 2018 FIFA World Cup. He got nominated the Best Young Player award based on his fantastic performances in the 2014 FIFA World Cup as well, Raphael Varane. But he's a very good central defender, you know, don't get me wrong. But reports are coming out yesterday saying that Man United have identified him. We've identified him as our #1 summer transfer target. Reportedly, Raphael Varane, as that did confirm. But it's unlikely anywhere that we'll get Raphael Varane, because Real Madrid won't sell Raphael Varane anywhere. And obviously, Raphael Varane actually began his career in France, you know, with Lens, because he risen up their youth system, you know, for a lot of years, you know, with Lens did Raphael Varane. And he only played 1 season, you know, as a senior player, you know, with Lens, and then he went straight to Real Madrid, of course. But he's enjoyed a difficult season so far this season, you know, with Real Madrid as Raphael Varane. But, you know, the years he's been there, he's grown and developed fantastically well, and he's won a lot of silverware, and he's only, you know, 25 years of age, is Raphael Varane, as I said. But yeah, I don't think we'll get Raphael Varane. We've got much chance, you know, of getting Koulibaly, you know, over Raphael Varane, as I said. As I said, but we know other names have also been mentioned as well. We know that Inter Milan's Milan Skriniar has also been mentioned in the media as well. And he's Slovakian, and Inter Milan paid around £20 million for him. Of course, he's aged 23 years of age, is Milan Skriniar. He's nowhere near on the same levels as the likes of the Raphael Varanes, as I just spoke about, or the Koulibalys, or the Sergio Ramoses, or the Diego Godins, you know, the top class central defenders. But he's only 23 years of age, and he's still got a lot of years ahead of him to grow and develop as Milan Skriniar. And I was reading reports the other week, and it was actually suggesting out that Milan Skriniar is one of Manchester United's, you know, main priority targets, you know, to go on this summer. He did say the top 2 targets were Koulibaly and Milan Skriniar, reportedly. But we've been linked with Milan Skriniar for the past 2 windows as well. I think he's rated at around £75 million, and he can play as a defensive midfielder. He can also play as a centre-back, can Milan Skriniar as well, as that did confirm. But reportedly, you know, we've been interested in him as well. We know that we've all obviously, been linked with Tottenham's Toby Alderweireld as well, but to me, I think he'd be a good leader in our back line, to be quite fair. Toby Alderweireld, I think he has lost a yard of place. He's getting a bit too old now, to be quite honest with you, Toby Alderweireld. He is 29 years of age, it's Toby Alderweireld. Tottenham have obviously extended his current contract till 2020. It does include a 25 million release clause, as I currently said. But we know that we have been linked with Toby Alderweireld, as we all know. So we know that he's been mentioned in the media. And we was in discussions last summer over getting the pursuit of Toby Alderweireld. But of course, Tottenham were demanding a high fee. I think they were demanding around 50-60 million pounds for him last summer, as I said. But he well could Tottenham in the summer could Toby Alderweireld, but I think he needs to adjust his game more, and he can prove to be a world-class central defender, but as I said, I think he's lost it a bit, and he's nowhere near on the same calibers as Koulibaly, as I said, or the Rafael Varane, or them top-class central defenders. Maybe he was really, really good when he was young in his prime, Alderweireld, but I think now he's obviously 29, he's aging up, and I think he's lost the pace, he's lost the yard of pace at least now as Alderweireld. So I would recommend Manchester United, to get him in the summer probably. Koulibaly is probably the best option, to get in our central defensive line, as I currently said. But I'm also a big fan, of Harry Maguire as well. From Leicester. Harry Maguire signed a 5-year deal, a new 5-year deal with Leicester last year. I think it was September, wasn't it? Harry Maguire. He again, 25 years of age. He's quite young. Still got a lot of years ahead of him. Premier League proven. Good. I think he's good at latching on from set pieces, and his performances for Leicester this season have been very, very good, and even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer praised Harry Maguire. And, I do like Harry Maguire, and obviously he was one of Jose Mourinho's targets, when obviously, Jose Mourinho was here. So, yeah, we've showed an interest in Harry Maguire as well, and we can actually afford, to double Harry Maguire's wages, because obviously he's on around £75,000 a week at Leicester, is Harry Maguire as well. So we have obviously, been linked with him as well. So obviously we're going to make plans, for the summer of who to get into the club, as I currently said. We know we've also looked at that Benfica winger, Felix as well. He keeps getting mentioned in the media as well. Does that Felix, Benfica winner, since he's been he can actually play as a midfielder and a striker, but as I said, since he's broke into the first team with Benfica, Felix's performances have been very, very impressive indeed. Only 19 years of age, has yet to make his senior debut for Portugal, as I said. And this player does have a buyout clause of a staggering £105 million reportedly. It did say a few teams, expressed their interest in him, during the January transfer window. It did say Liverpool had put a £61 million bid in for him, it had been turned down. Man United have actually instructed scouts, to keep a close eye on Felix as well. But only 19 years of age, so do you think, he'd complement our team very, very well, Felix? So his name has also been mentioned in the media as well. So we actually could consider, going for Felix in the summer, to be quite honest with you. To be quite honest with you, so we could actually go for Felix in the summer as well. So yeah, we will get some good signings probably in the summer, and then I think we can be potentially title contenders as I currently said. But as I did say, our objective this season is to get in that top 4. If we do beat Fulham tomorrow, we're in the top 4. We do go a point above Chelsea and we get into that top 4. Of course, Chelsea play Man City on Sunday. The preview will be coming up for that very, very soon. I'll be doing a preview on that game, as I said. But yeah, so our objective is the top 4, as I currently said. Hopefully we can progress in the FA Cup as well. We know Chelsea is going to be a difficult tie, as I currently said. Chelsea isn't going to be easy, of course, as I said. But yeah, so basically it's Fulham Manchester United at 12:30 tomorrow at Craven Cottage, as we all currently know. Should be an easy Manchester United win. I've already done my preview, so go check it out, as I currently said. It's Fulham Manchester United tomorrow. Craven Cottage, 12:30 kick-off. So we do have the opportunity, to get into the top 4 before obviously Chelsea kick off against City on Sunday. They go to the Etihad on Sunday at 4 o'clock. But Fulham, as I did say, I'll give you a bit of team news on the game. Solskjaer's obviously going to be rotating the squad, as I currently said. He's going to be rotating. I think he's going to rest quite a few, at least quite a few key players, for the PSG game on Tuesday, as I currently said. But Fulham are in very, very bad form, as I currently said. They're probably one of the favourites, favourites to go down this season. You know, they're sitting 19th in the league. They've already had 16 defeats this season. They've got one of the worst defensive records, you know, in the Premier League as well of Fulham, as I said. And obviously they've got a few injury concerns of Fulham as a company. You know, they've got Alfie Mawson out for injury. I think he's a long-term absence to be quite honest with you. I think Andreas Skrilla, however you pronounce his name, has also been injured, but reports saying that he could maybe be in contention, as I said. Marcus Bettinelli is also injured as well for Fulham. But it did say Fosu Mensah's not injured, but I don't think Fosu Mensah was injured, but he won't be playing in this game as that has already confirmed. And I don't think Fulham have beaten us since 2009, so that's for what, like 10 years now. We did beat the 4-1 earlier on in the season, you know, Fulham, as I currently said. But as I did say, Fulham could be handing debuts to 2 players, you know, that they did get on transfer deadline day. I do want to confirm to you. They did get Lazar Markovic from Liverpool. I think he was on a free transfer, so Fulham, you know, could give his give Marco what's his name again? Could give Lazar Markovic his debut. They could also give what's his name? They got someone from Hoffenheim on loan as well on transfer deadline day, but his name's actually hard to pronounce. I think it's called Havard Nordveit or something like that. His surname's is hard to his surname's hard to pronounce, but you'll know what I mean anyway. So anyway, Fulham could be giving debuts, you know, to them 2 players. You know, they did get on deadline day in the transfer window, as I currently said. In the last 10 meetings, we've won 8. You know, there's been 2 draws, as I currently said. Fulham have obviously, you know, got Claudio Ranieri, you know, a proven winner in the past. You know, he won the Premier League with Leicester City and all that. Did you know, Ranieri? He ended up getting sacked in the end, you know, from Leicester City. Did Ranieri? He's managed quite a lot of other teams as well as Ranieri. We know at one point, you know, he was a manager in Chelsea. As I said, but as I said, should be an easy win for Manchester United. We're obviously not going to go with the strongest 11, as we all currently know, because we have got big games coming up. So Rashford could, you know, be rested. Fred could come in. Could come into contention to feature, as I said earlier on. Dalot could be featuring. Maybe Chris Smalling could be featuring as well, because Chris Smalling's been out for a long time with a foot injury. As I currently said, Chris Smalling, he's been out with a foot injury for a long time. So, yeah, he could be in contention, you know, to face his former club, you know, could Chris Smalling. So I think he could be featuring. Obviously, Rojo, it did confirm Marcus Rojo was back in training, as that did confirm. He's back in training, but I don't think he's fit enough to play, Marcus Rojo. And he's one of the players I think he'll leave in the summer as well, because he's enjoyed difficult times since he's come to United, and he's had a lot of injuries as Marcus Rojo, just like Jones. You know, he's injury prone, he's known for injuries, he's Phil Jones, as we all know. But also against Fulham, I think we'll probably start with Lukaku. We'll probably start with Sanchez on the left-hand side. Well, maybe not. You know, we may start Martial on the left, put Lukaku essentially, as I currently said. So he will make quite a few changes there with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, to the team. So Fred could start, as I said. Dalot could come into contention. As I currently said, you know, Lukaku and Sanchez will come, I think, will come into our contention as well. So he won't go with the strongest 11, as I said, because I do know our strongest 11. Without a shadow of a doubt, I know our strongest 11. This is our strongest 11. I'll go through it. De Gea in net, Young at right back, you know, Bailly, Lindelof as a centre-back partnership, Luke Shaw as left-back, you know, Herrera, Matic and Pogba, you know, as our midfield, Martial on the left, Lingard on the right and Rashford up front. That is our strongest 11, as we all currently know, and that is a 4-3-3 formation, or if it's a 4-2-3-1 formation, either way, that is our strongest 11, as I could have said. But to quite honest with you, I think Paul Pogba looks very, very effective, you know, in a number 10 role, if I'm going to be quite honest with you guys, as I said. So yeah, he'll make numerous changes. You know, it should be an easy winner tomorrow, as I said. It's Solskjaer's 11th game at Manchester United, as I said. So we're looking for 10 wins out of 11, you know, tomorrow, as I currently said. So far, it's 9 wins out of 10. So we're looking for 10 out of 11, you know, tomorrow, as I said. So as I did say, the big breaking news about this video, as I did say, it's mainly about Phil Jones. It's come out in the press today saying that Man United have talks. It's come to an agreement. Jones has signed a 4.5-year deal, so he will be under contract here till 2023, as it has confirmed. I'm not happy about it. A lot of United fans are not happy about it, as I could have said, but I weren't happy about McTominay, you know, signing a new deal, you know, back in, you know, the January window. I did say it was fantastic because obviously, you know, it's still a United player at the end of the day, but I wasn't too happy about, to be honest, because we do, Phil Jones, he's obviously actually been a regular under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but he's nowhere near on the same levels as Bay and Lindelof, and I'd love to see Bay get more game time, and he is going to do, because I think he's part of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans, is Eric Bay, to put him more in the team regularly, Eric Bay, but as I did say, we've agreed Phil Jones a new contract, until 2023, as that is confirmed. And he has been here, of course, since 2011. We know that he's known for injuries. He's Phil Jones as well. But yeah, he's signed a new deal as that is officially confirmed. And he's made over 200 appearances, since he's been here, of course, as well. So anyway, drop your comments, likes below on the channel, guys. I'm going now. We'll be coming up soon with the Manchester City versus Chelsea preview, so join me on this channel. So as I said, if you do consider drop your likes, if you do consider subscribers, always, and take care. God bless, guys.